to spend my life mending broken people. I want to spend my life removing pain. Lord, let my words heal a heart that hurts. I want to spend my life mending broken people. I want to spend my life mending broken people.
Hi, welcome to 3ABN Today, another cooking program, and I have my wife with me. She'll be helping me out with these cooking shows, is that correct?
Yep, and my name is Paula.
Paula, and my name is Curtis.
And you know why I said that?
Why?
Because for a long time, you know, we've been on 3ABN for a while, and for a long time, you kept calling me Honey.
Oh,
and so somebody called me on the phone one day, and they said, is your name Honey? And I said, no, that's what Curtis calls me. And he said, what's your real name? And I said, Paula, but you can call me Paula, honey.
Okay, yeah. Even though she could have probably just read the name
well, you know,
on
at
the
that
apron.
time when we were first coming, we didn't have our names on our apron. We just had the health seminars written on them.
Okay.
And so it wasn't until, you know, once we did the aprons again, I said, well, maybe it's best to go ahead and put our names on. Although, I remember one time I actually had your apron on.
And I had yours.
That's right, and nobody said anything to us.
Not even the camera crew.
Nobody said anything.
Maybe so thought it was planned.
The whole time that, you know, they kept saying, I guess people said, oh,
the whole program.
His name is Paul, her name is Curtis. What's that all about?
Yeah, we didn't catch it after the program was over. We took off our aprons. So wait a minute, I got yours, you got mine. So anyway, you got ours on, and so we have another program. You know, we've been doing a lot of traveling again as South Central Conference Health Ministries Director. And that's covering a lot of states, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, and the northwest part of Florida. So we travel quite a bit in that territory, the most challenging territory in the South, or in the United States, I should say. But
why would you say that?
Well, I guess for one thing, we have three belts. We call it 3 belts. We have the diabetes belt that runs right through South Central Conference. And so Alabama's the #1 state with the highest rate of diabetes. Alabama's #1. Okay. Mississippi is #2. And so, and then other states, Tennessee is up there as well. And so we have the diabetes belt. We have the obesity belt, all right? And Mississippi is the most obese state 9 years running. And Alabama, Tennessee is up in the top 5. And so we have the obesity belt. And then we have the stroke belt. And of course, the stroke belt, you have high blood pressure, strokes, and heart attacks as well, coronary artery disease. And so those 3 major belts run through South Central Conference, and particularly African-American population. So we have the highest rate in the nation in those 3 categories. So, but we have a lot of good, wonderful health directors in the local churches throughout our conference that helps and assists us as well, so we're very grateful for that.
And you know, the whole thing with us, of course, our ministry on 3ABN, as well as all the traveling we actually do, is all about trying to help people, to look at their lifestyle, to make the appropriate changes. A lot of people meet us with different diseases going on, and so our goal is basically we go in, we talk about a major killer disease, like we do on 3ABN, Abundant Living Show, and the Today Show, and then once we finish talking about that disease, we always say, oh, taste and see that the Lord is good, because it's one thing you can tell an individual what they should be doing, what foods they should be eating, the lifestyle they should be going through. But when it comes to food and you're trying to take away the major superfoods, that's the food that people like, when you try to take that away from them, they're not really happy about that because they're so used to that. And so one of the things that happens is that we create our foods to look like, act like, smell like, taste like, those foods that people are used to, but all plant-based.
Yeah, and we give them, good point, we give them something better.
That's right.
We don't take nothing away unless we have something better in its place. So you can take things away from people, but if they don't get nothing in its place, they get mad and go back to what they've been eating before.
Yeah. Well, today's show is one of those kind of things where we're actually going to show them some ways of doing some things. Once again, foods that people are used to eating,
Okay.
but in a plant-based format, okay?
Healthier
and
format.
so we eat with our eyes, and so if it looks good,
Yes.
that's the beginning of it, right?
Now, plant-based, which means
Plant-based.
cholesterol-free.
Cholesterol-free,
And,
low sodium, low sugars. And, you know, and I don't hate to say the word low. We used to say low and no. We don't even say that anymore. We just say minimum amount.
Yes.
Because when a person say low sugar and low fat and low this, I don't think I want
They
it.
think it's low taste. Yeah, so but it's low in sugar, and also we use a lot of the natural sugars that God put into the plant kingdom,
Yes.
which is the fruit kingdom.
And we'll talk about that, but let's look at what we're actually preparing today.
Okay, let's do
We're
it.
going to start off with a strawberry kiwi mock chicken salad. We're also going to go from there to our special vegetarian meatloaf.
Okay.
Which is very, very good and beautiful. We're going to go to oven roasted Brussels sprouts.
Oh, okay. That's going to be interesting.
It's going to be very interesting.
All right.
And then we're going to do a stir-fry cauliflower. That's really going to be interesting.
Oh, okay. Two food people, so I like those two.
And then we're going to end with a mixed berry cobbler. And so we're very, very, very excited about this program. We're excited to get going.
Now, let me just say this up front.
Okay.
People saw the Brussels sprouts, they saw the cauliflower.
Yes, they did.
And they say, those two foods, if I don't eat those foods until the second coming, I will not be upset.
I know,
So-
I know. Well, you know, if you know, Kurt and I have been on the show for quite some time, and you know, we're kind of known for bringing in those foods that people hate. You remember that day we did the
Yeah.
program called Squash It?
Yeah,
And it
squash
was
it.
all about squash, the whole squash family. And I mean, we did a
Spaghetti
lot of
squash and all
spaghetti
kind-
squash
yes.
and peanut squash, and we made some fantastic things with all the different kind of squash. And
Yes.
people say, you know what? I think I'm going to try that, you know. And then we had that Pastabilities when we had people going on all no carbs. I'm not doing no pasta, no bread, no flour, you know. And so we came on that show with the Pastabilities
Yeah,
with all
that's
the
true.
different kinds of pastas
That's
that
right.
was out there on the market. And of course, people do like an apple. We had an apple a day show,
Keep
which was
the
like,
doctor
all
away,
the
yeah.
apples that was on there. And so once again, as I was preparing and getting ready for this show, Curtis, I kept
Okay.
thinking, okay, let's pull out some more of those foods that people don't necessarily care about, but if they're prepared in the right proportion, combination, and coloring, they might say,
Yes.
I think I'll try that.
So it's how the food is prepared.
Absolutely.
Right, and how it's seasoned. So because
Absolutely.
Brussels sprouts right off the bat, then people say cauliflower, well, I don't know, but this will be an eye-opener for a lot of people dealing with Brussels sprouts and cauliflower in particular, if
And
nothing else.
these are brand new recipes also as well. Starting off with the very first one that we're actually going to be doing today, and that's that we're going to do a strawberry kiwi chick salad, and it's absolutely fantastic. It calls
Okay.
for 2 cups of strawberries cut in half, 3 kiwis peeled and cut in circles, 1 cup of baby spinach leaves, 1 16-ounce bag of mock chicken strips, and 1/2 cup of your favorite raspberry dressing, and 1/2 cup of pecan pieces.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
now, this is a gorgeous salad. Most people, when they think about salad, they always think about just lettuce and tomatoes and cucumbers. Oh, no.
And drown it with
no.
dressing.
Yeah, let's taste those, let's spark those taste buds up with
Okay,
something a little bit
okay.
different. And this is actually a 1-meal dish that you can actually do, because notice now, I got my protein, which I'm using my my chicken, my mock chicken
Now,
pieces in
let's
it.
talk about that for those who may be watching for the first time. You know, I have
these
to
are-
remind myself, because a lot of people say, I just saw your show for the first time.
Yes.
Although we've been on here for nearly 20 years. So now the mock chicken strips, let's talk about this for just a little
It's
while.
actually, once again, it's soy. It's made from soy.
Okay, soy-based.
Okay, and once again, it's actually made into this mock chicken kind of a strip. As you can see, it looks just like chicken pieces.
Okay,
Okay. It comes in the frozen food section in
Frozen
the grocery
food
store.
in the
frozen.
regular grocery store.
In your regular grocery
Not
store,
necessarily health
frozen
food
foods.
store, but
okay.
yeah, regular grocery
and I have already sauteed it and got it ready for this show, because I'm going to be putting it in a salad.
But now when it comes frozen, you have to add seasoning to it, or
When
it just
comes-
depends?
Oh, it depends, because this one's actually was called chicken strips. So the chicken strips, it came with like a teriyaki dressing.
Yes.
So I kind of save all my dressings, and if I'm going to do just like for this salad recipe, I'm not going to be using the teriyaki.
Yes.
I'm using a raspberry sauce. So with that in mind, I'm just going to use the chicken as it is. I've actually already sauteed it, and I'm just going to be cutting it into some small bite-sized
Okay,
pieces.
all right. A lot
for-
of people use chicken into their salads.
Yeah,
so-
a lot of people do chicken and salad.
Yeah.
And while I'm doing that, Curtis, what I want you to do is, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you the chicken.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
you can cut the chicken up. I'm going to
In
move that over here by
cubes,
you.
okay.
You want to use this knife or that one you got?
I'll use this one.
this one ain't playing.
Yeah.
Okay, and while you're doing that, then I'm just going to go ahead on and start getting the kiwi ready. And this is a surprise too, because this is kiwi, and I made a comment before, which I've been, because just in case my sister watches the show, I don't want her to, I don't want to say it. And then she said, I can't believe you dissed me on the television.
No, well, you don't say her name though,
Yeah,
baby.
no, she'll know that she's the one that said that.
Oh,
So-
well, that's true. Well, but she would, nobody else would know that unless you said something.
No, but she'll know.
Oh, okay.
You know, one
so-
time I did a children's story, and I actually called out Nathan and Jimmy, who are actually our relatives. And then when I got around them, I had to change their name.
Yes.
You know, because they were sitting out there in the audience. I didn't want them to think I was talking about them.
Yes.
And then, of course, when we got in front of them, I changed the name over to Shanice and Brittany, which was really Nathan and Jimmy.
Oh, now I do remember.
Remember that? And then
That's
Brittany,
right.
And then Brittany said, Mimi, my name is Mimi, and Kurt's name is Cece to our grandchildren. And she said, Mimi, that girl you were talking about in that story, was that me?
Was that you?
And I
Yes.
said, well, I don't know, Brittany, what do you think? And she said, it really was me, because I remember that. So I just laughed.
Oh, okay.
You know, I laughed
okay.
about it. You know, what can you say?
Now, I do remember one time, honey, that you had some kiwi and fed it to somebody, and you had the kiwi in half, and this person never seen kiwi before. Never seen kiwi.
You just know you're going to go there. You just
where?
Go there. You're going to go there. You better hope that she doesn't watch this program.
Okay, when you say she, now you know I'm talking about her, so I can't tell the story. See, I mean, it was so much for the story. See?
Busted.
Yeah.
No, go ahead and finish it out.
No, well.
And just remember, Kurt is the one that told. Just remember
Okay,
that.
anyway, she never seen kiwi before.
Yeah, yeah.
And you cut it in half, you know, always cut it in half and make it look nice, you know. And she said, why are those little ants inside that fruit?
In a circle.
Yeah, and can you pick the ants out so I can eat the fruit? I mean, she was serious.
She was serious. Well, you know, once again, people usually get kind of in a mode where they're always doing the exact same thing, eating the same
Yes.
foods all the time.
No
One
variety.
thing I like about 3ABN is that you get the opportunity to see a lot of different cooks on the show, and they have a lot of different ideas, a lot of different recipes they're preparing. And so, you know, I say to you, try some of the things that you actually see and see if you don't like them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You'll like them. You'll like
And
them.
she did like it.
She liked it.
Yes,
She said,
she liked it.
well, I love this. It's great, you know?
But we're not mentioning any names, are we, honey?
You still pulling it. Okay, yeah, we're not mentioning no names. I'm
No.
not going to go there at all.
Okay.
All right. Now, this
Okay.
has baby spinach in it.
Okay.
So we're going to take our spinach, and I'm going to...
This is fresh spinach, right?
This is fresh spinach. Okay, I'm just going to put
You
it
gonna
in
cut
this
it up a
bowl.
little bit or
no,
tear it?
I'm not
Or-
going to cut it, just tear it.
Oh, tear it?
If you cut it with a knife, it actually makes it go brown. If
Oh.
you tear it with your hands, it does not. So we're just going to break it up a little bit there.
Want me to help you or what?
Yeah, you can break up a little bit there.
Okay.
Okay, we got that going in there. Some spinach.
Just a little bit?
Fresh baby spinach, just a little bit. Not a whole lot of leaves. More bite-sized. Like,
bite-sized.
And because they're baby leaves anyway, you know. Okay, and then on top of that, believe it or not, we're going to actually put our strawberries. Ooh, yeah.
Also, wonderful strawberries cut in half.
Yeah, strawberries. This is a real pretty salad.
Now,
And,
this is a simple recipe, because a lot
Very
of times you have cookbooks that you go through, and I remember when we were married, and I actually counted the number of cookbooks my wife had, and it was a total of 70, was it 76?
It might
was
have
in the
been.
70s.
It might have been. It might
Yeah,
have
it was
been.
in the 70s.
And the thing is that
And you're still collecting cookbooks.
well, you know, the thing that was so amazing about cookbooks, Curtis, is that I would see a cookbook and then I would purchase it because
Yes.
of the recipe. And then I would get home and the book might have anywhere from 25 to 125 or 525
Yes.
recipes in it.
But how many
Guess
did
how
we
many
read?
recipes worked?
How many?
Maybe 2. So you know what I said to myself? Self, you need to make your own cookbook.
And what did Self say?
Self said, you go ahead and do it. and so I created.
I'm glad
of
you
course,
listened to yourself.
The revised cookbook. I did the global cookbook, which is foods from around the world.
That's right.
You know, I have a mini book that we've actually made recently.
For Loma Linda products,
products
canned
and
products,
stuff. So yeah, you know, I always say, you know, if you're instead of complaining sometime about stuff, you know, do it yourself.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what we
Yeah.
did.
Five
These
or 4 or 5 recipes and a cookbook that has like 100 recipes. So.
Well, the one thing that for sure, and people ask me all the time when they get our books, they always ask me, you know, are all the recipes good? And I always say yes, and the reason is yes is because not only have they been on 3ABN, but because we've been in the community so many times, and the recipes actually been proven through the people in the community.
That's
Now, if
right.
the community will eat it, everybody will eat it because the community has different taste buds.
That's right.
And their taste buds are totally different from our taste buds because of the fact that we're vegan vegetarians. And so it might not be something they're going to like, but now when we fix it up,
They eat it up.
As a matter of fact, speaking of that, I need that.
Okay, and can you feed me on the show? Because you haven't fed me in a while, have you?
Heard this? Are they on point? That's enough.
It's not, okay, oh, you kind of took that.
Put it down there.
Yeah, see, somebody started laughing on that one.
Okay. And now, look how pretty it is. Now we're going to put the kiwi on.
All right.
All right. As the person said, I almost said her name. Ooh.
Oh.
As the person said,
See,
you know,
only the person who did that know that we're talking about that person and nobody else.
Nobody else.
Nobody else.
Nobody else. You know.
And
Of
she
course,
may not even watch this show.
She might not.
But then again, it may re-air.
Anyway.
Okay.
Kiwi.
You're not going to use all of that?
Well, let me taste that.
Okay. You going to feed me again?
Okay.
Come on, baby. Open mouth and insert.
That on point?
Especially the ants. Yep, there you go. Some of us are still laughing.
No, you done ran out. No, you done ran out. Okay. Let's go ahead and sprinkle on. Just take into your hand. No.
Chicken
Chicken.
what?
Chicken.
Oh, in my hand?
Yeah, you can do good. Just sprinkle it. Just sprinkle it around. In different places. Over here. In a corner. Get dookie. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
No, you didn't. Okay, you're getting the habit going on now.
Did what?
For real, you're getting the habit going on.
you see, the camera wasn't on me.
Uh-oh. All right, and then we're going to sprinkle on our pecans. It's the pecan halves.
Now, it's pronounced pecans or pecans?
Okay, what do you want to say?
Well,
Now,
you know what I want to say.
no, that's not.
But it's pecans.
Pecans.
Yeah, today it's going to be pecans.
Pecans, just make sure you get that word right.
Yeah, off camera, it may be pecan.
It might be,
Yeah.
okay? Now, we top this off with a raspberry. A raspberry dressing.
Now, did you make that yourself?
No, I did not.
Oh, but you could have.
I could have, but I did not.
Okay, because you're modeling Millie, or what's the word?
30 modern milli.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, but they got,
knew it was something.
they already got it out. It's already worked out there, so I don't need to go get all that.
Yeah, you don't need to do all that, yeah.
No, you don't.
Just go ahead
Okay,
and
so we
purchase
got that raspberry
So
sauce.
this is raspberry sauce. that's
Raspberry
already-
dressing. It's
raspberry dressing.
And
Okay.
you can get this in your health food store. You can get it at your regular grocery store,
Okay.
whatever your fancy is. But this, I like to chill it. And like I said before,
Like overnight or
this
just
is-
a few hours?
just a few hours
Okay.
because you're getting ready to serve it to the people.
All right.
Okay? And you can see it has a very, very pretty presentation.
Yes, it does.
That has in it. And actually, when you do this raspberry salad, you can actually use this and you can have, rolls with it. You can use it as a main entree. Like sometimes, believe it or not, I like to take something like whole wheat tortilla chips and put it on the bottom and then put the salad on top of that and then have my dressing and everything that goes with that and make this into a meal dish. Now, I know that somebody says, that ain't enough food. Well, we got some other stuff we're going to show you so you don't think the only thing you're going to have is this salad.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's more food coming, folks.
Okay, so let's look at the next recipe.
Okay,
we're
let's
gonna be
do it,
doing.
honey.
Well, we're going to make that vegetarian meatloaf. Yes, and it calls for one 12-ounce package of mock beef crumbles, 2 cups of whole wheat bread crumbs, 1/2 cup of Vita wheat gluten flour, 1/2 cup of instant oats, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 medium onion chopped, 2 cloves of garlic minced, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of thyme, 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke, 1/2 cup of water, 1 tablespoon of mock beef style seasoning and cooking spray.
Okay.
Woo!
Now, there's a lot of, some of the ingredients, honey, some of the ingredients are going to be new to some people who are new to 3AB and their cooking program. So I think we may want to talk at least about 2 or 3 of those ingredients.
Okay. One of them is my mock
Okay,
beef
let's go with
crumbles.
so now, what is it and where can you get it? And
Frozen
okay,
food
this is-
section.
okay, mini.
And these are beef crumbles. It's actually like a ground beef, the texture of
so in
ground beef.
place of ground beef, you can use
Use the crumbles.
the crumbles,
Yep,
all right?
all right,
And
beef
they're
crumbles.
already crumbled.
Already ready,
And then
and they're
some
frozen.
are not, like in patties, you can crumble them. So it just depends on.
Yeah, but if you
It's best to get them already crumbled.
well, before we used to have to do the patties and crumble them up, but now
Right,
they already
but now
come
they're
that
already
way.
crumbled,
Yes,
so
a lot,
it's easier.
a lot of yeah.
Major grocery store,
Major
okay.
grocery store.
All right.
Now for the breadcrumbs, I'm actually using whole wheat bread.
Okay.
Instead of the regular breadcrumbs that you see in a can, I don't like them. They got a lot of stuff in them.
You're just putting them in a
So,
food processor?
In a
and
food processor and
just
make
let
it
them
into
crumble?
crumbs. All
Okay.
right.
Oh, the liquid. Oh, Vita Wheat gluten. Yeah, that's another one. Okay.
Vita
Talk
Wheat
about
gluten.
that.
Vita Wheat gluten is a gluten flour, and it actually is one that has that. It causes the meatloaf to be cohesive, so that it has like an egg. It's like a binder to make the meatloaf stay together.
Okay.
And so I use the Vita Wheat gluten also.
Okay.
It's got that stretchiness going on.
And that's also at a regular grocery store. Right.
Yes, it
okay.
is.
Now the liquid smoke.
Liquid
Talk
smoke
about
is
that.
over in the same section as they have the Worcestershire sauce and tarragon sauces. It's just a seasoning, and the smoke, liquid smoke, is nothing more than just what it is. It's just liquid smoke. It has that. It gives that flavor of hickory, like when you're using barbecuing or something like that. That makes the meatloaf come alive. And then I got beef style seasoning.
Yeah, beef style
We talked about that on the other show, but I had chicken style seasoning. So this is beef style seasoning,
Now,
and it
no
comes in a
beef.
granular. No, it comes in a granulated form, and so that's why I have it in a water, so that it could actually begin to make up its own kind of a beef broth to go into this as well.
Now, where would they find that in the grocery store?
In the grocery store.
I mean, where?
Health food section, the grocery store. All
the
the
health food
stuff is
section
in the health food
grocery-
sections
in the grocery store.
Now, sometimes, now some of the things I've been seeing also in the supermarkets is they'll have a beef broth, a chicken broth, and then they will have a vegetable broth. So if you can't find beef seasoning or chicken seasoning, you can use the vegetable seasoning, vegetable broth, okay? That's what you want to use because it does not have any chicken or beef in it at all.
Oh,
all right?
okay.
And so I think that's about it as far as all the things go to make this up. This is a wonderful recipe. You're going to go ahead and start cutting up the onions for me.
All right.
You're going to chop them up for me kind of fine. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead on and I think I have another knife here. I'm going to move this over to the side, and then I'm going to go ahead on and get the garlic. Get the garlic ready. This is another recipe that's very, very good. I like this recipe. It is one I use for the holidays. It's a good recipe to use when you have people coming over. Okay, it actually comes with a red sauce, believe it or not. And the red sauce.
Explain the red sauce.
The red sauce is just, you know, most time when people have meatloaves, they always want to have something to go over top of it when it comes out the oven.
Yeah.
And so in this scenario, we make a red sauce. And the red sauce, of course, we talked about that as the show came on, but the red sauce is actually in our cookbook. So when you go to the recipe book, you will actually find the red sauce. Very easy and simple to make, all right?
That's good enough, honey?
That's fine. So we're going to go ahead and put the garlic in, and we're going to go ahead and put the
both of
onions
these.
in, and both of those can go in.
Okay.
All right. And most of the time when I'm doing my meatloaves, you know, or I might be using garlic and might be using onions, I always saute them first, but because the meatloaf is going to go in the oven, it's going to actually cook the garlic and also it's going to cook the onions as well. Okay? So we're going to put that in. And now you're going to go ahead on, you smell that smell already. I mean, we haven't even started yet.
Haven't
and
even
we
started.
already
It's
going
already
there with the
permeating.
smell and everything. Okay? So go ahead and
Now,
put the breadcrumbs in.
Okay.
Okay? And this is 2 cups of breadcrumbs.
Whole wheat.
Whole wheat breadcrumbs. And you know, people call me on the phone a lot of times and ask me what are the breadcrumbs I'm using. I use breadcrumbs and croutons on the show.
Okay.
And I actually just take the ends of my breads that are still there at the house. I put them in the refrigerator as I'm coming toward the end, and I put them on a cookie sheet with a little bit of seasoning, you know, any of your special favorite seasonings, and I make croutons out of it.
Oh, yes.
Or I put it into the food processor and make it into bread crumbles.
Okay, now suppose a person does not have a food processor, and there may be people out there that fits in that category. Can they buy breadcrumbs already? I mean, can you buy breadcrumbs?
You can buy breadcrumbs already out there, but one of the reasons why I make my own breadcrumbs is because when you look at your breadcrumbs in the store, whether it be Italian or regular breadcrumbs, not only does it have the actual bread crumbs in it, but it will also have sometimes cheeses in there. It will have in there
some other things.
Other things as part of, I mean, beef tart and some different things that are in there that are of animal origin or things I don't want that in my breadcrumb. I really just want a plain breadcrumb.
But is there breadcrumbs out there?
No, that's why I make my own.
Oh, so it's, you just can't find it.
And
then.
for my audience, and of course, you know, this is where we throw that plug in. So if you find some breadcrumbs out there that's more natural, just send them to me. You got my address. Okay, we're
at the
moving
end of
along.
the show. Okay, so they have to
Okay.
really get a food processor to get the breadcrumbs in.
Oh yeah, I just if you're going to really be cooking, those
I mean, that's
most
just a
people-
staple. That's ingredient. I mean,
All right, let's go ahead and
okay,
put the Vita Wheat gluten
Now, Vita
up
Wheat
in there.
gluten. Okay. All right.
Vita
Now,
Wheat
you don't have to
gluten.
sift this, do you? I mean, it's just...
No. This is gluten flour,
Okay.
and it is there for the purpose of actually helping to bring the meatloaf together. Okay, it's different from a regular flour. It's a gluten flour. It has elastic kind of a personality. So when
So it's more
liquid's
of a
added to
binding
it,
capacity,
it's
or-
definitely a binder.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
All right, we're going to go ahead and put those instant oats in there as well.
Okay.
And all this is what really goes into, our regular meatloaves actually have not just the gluten flour in it, but most meatloaves have breadcrumbs, has some kind of a flour in it, and it also will use some type of another binder. Of course, they use eggs to go in there. But no, we're all plant-based cooking here, so therefore we're not going there.
Okay, now I have a question. I'm trying to ask questions that people would normally ask, but they can't, so I'm doing it for them.
Okay, dokie.
What about, I don't have instant oats, but I have still oats or
Steel cut oats.
Steel cut
Which is the
oats.
ones that take a longer time.
Right.
All right, so if
Can
you
I
got,
do
once
that?
again, what you can do is, once again, you have a blender.
Oh.
You got to have a blender.
Okay.
Or if you just put your oats, your steel grain oats, into your blender and pulse it, it will turn into instant oats. Okay?
Boy,
Yeah.
I tell you, you're just full of knowledge today, aren't you? Yes, is the reply.
Oh, if I finish laughing, I'll go ahead and throw it on in there. But
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
How about let's get you working because
Oh, yeah.
you really.
Yeah, see.
Okay, you're having
see,
the time right there.
As
Let's
long
go
as,
ahead and-
long
let's
as
get
I'm
you to-
idle, I start talking. So you need to keep me busy.
You're busy.
Okay, now, so,
You're going to put in the thyme. And
Okay.
you're also going to be putting in the garlic powder and the onion powder. And I'm just stirring this liquid around
Garlic
there.
and onion powder.
And then we're going to take the spoon and mash to put them on in there. And I'm going to add my liquid.
now why not onion salt and garlic salt?
All right, this one's back on you now for real. Okay, so while I'm doing that, you can tell them why we're not using the garlic salt and the onion salt.
Okay, now, but I was asking you that question, so.
I'm busy fixing the food.
Oh,
right
so you
now.
want me to answer?
And you've been with me long enough to know the answer to that one. So go ahead on at it. You
20
go
how many
at
years?
it.
22 years of marriage, right?
Go at it. Go
At
at
the
it.
taping
You
of the
doing
show.
good.
Well, you see now, open up my mouth. Garlic salt is nothing more than salted garlic.
Right.
And garlic onion is nothing more than salted onion.
It's something like that.
Yes, did I say
The
that?
bottom line is it. The bottom line is
Yeah.
it's not a lot of
So the
seasoning.
powder is nothing more than the garlic and the onion that's powdered.
Okay.
No salt added.
That's right.
Okay.
And they come in a granulated, also with more of the natural as well. And so with all that in mind, you want to we try to get that cholesterol, sodium levels, all those things down. It's causing some major killer diseases. So we want to cut those down, and we can do that with the plant-based cooking, all right? So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead on and begin to add the liquid because we got to make this into a meatloaf. Yeah.
Okay, here come the liquid, all right?
All right, and so you hold that for me, babe.
Okay.
I'm going to take and stir this around. Remember, this is the beef seasoning, beef-style seasoning, and it's got the olive oil, the liquid smoke.
Oh, all
and the
that's
olive
already
oil is
added.
already in, okay?
Oh, I see.
We're going to put that in so we can form the meatloaf. All right, so it gives it the seasoning it needs. Let me hold this one here. Okay. Going to put this together. Now, in most of your meatloaves also, what you will find is that they'll use tomato sauce or tomato paste. That's another one to hold the loaf together. So because we're not using those, then this particular one, I do have used that, but we're not using it in this particular one. We're actually just going to use the liquid from the beef, the water, the sauce itself, which is the olive oil, and we're also going to be using the liquid smoke, okay? So once you get it all together, you can see it's actually gotten wetter.
Good old-fashioned meatloaf,
Meatloaf.
without the
Oh,
meat.
man.
Now, I cannot recall the last time I had meatloaf. I mean, regular.
Regular meatloaf.
Yeah, I
would
mean,
say
it's been over
been a
over
while.
30 years.
But I've made this one up a couple of times, and it is absolutely
Yes.
delicious. Absolutely delicious. Now, I have not made it at home in a while,
Yes.
but I'm making it on a show. So what I've done is I've taken my pan, and I've put my actual
parchment?
parchment paper in it,
Okay.
and I'm going to start scooping.
You don't grease it?
Because normally what happens is, let's go ahead and
You
grease a
don't-
little bit.
okay, you spray it? Okay.
Just a tad.
Just a tad?
A tad. That's a tad.
Okay,
Okay, that's what I call a tad.
that's 2 tads.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually just take Normally when I make my meatloaves, I put them in a meatloaf pan. Okay, this time we're going to make the meatloaf, and we're going to actually just put it together with our hands. And you've seen this time.
So why not a meatloaf pan? Why you choose?
Just something different.
Oh, just something different.
Something different. You know, not the same thing all the time.
Okay.
This one here is one, and they've seen this kind of meatloaf. I know they've seen it, but this one here is one where you actually form the meatloaf yourself with your hands. How about that?
Okay.
So we're just going to pile it on. Pile it on. Okay. And see, it's nice and liquidy, and you smell that smell. It's delicious smell that comes from it.
It's that liquid smoke, isn't it?
It's the smoke and that garlic, all that's in there.
The garlic and the onions,
Okay, and we're going to go ahead on and put in this last part here. It makes a nice size meatloaf, by the way. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Like a big old tunnel, it looks like right now.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. And what I do is I take and grease my hands. And then I begin to form an actual meatloaf.
Oh, so you do it with your hands?
Yeah, do it with your hands. Okay? It's not hard to do.
So without the pan, I mean, you can make any form you want to.
Yeah,
then.
you don't have to
I
have a you don't have to have a
make
pan.
It, yeah.
Okay, and I've actually taken the same thing too, and you can take a muffin tin, and you can make individual meatloaves.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so you got a round
That would
one.
be different, individual small meatloaf. Yeah.
See that? It's not hard to do at all. So here you got it. You got your meatloaf. It's going to go in the oven. It's going to bake. And like I said before, I have a red sauce that goes over top of it.
Okay.
Okay. And so this is ready. When you're pushing it in, make sure that you push it and tighten it up as you're doing it. Otherwise, it will crack on you when you try to cut it.
So make it nice and tight.
You want to make it tight.
Okay.
You want to make it tight, okay?
Yes.
But you want to make it in the shape of an actual meatloaf.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you another reason why I like this one. I like this one because in your meatloaf, you know, the only thing that actually gets done, a lot of times, when I say done, I mean have that coloring is actually going to be the top of your meatloaf.
Right.
When you do it like this, you get actually a covering all the way around, so it actually evenly browns all the way around the circle.
Oh, so if it's in the pan, the sides won't get brown. Just
it will not.
Here,
yeah, it'll be brown, but the top
not
is
as
the
much.
only thing that gets that nice brown color.
Okay.
This way, the whole thing gets brown.
Okay. So that's the bonus from doing
That's
it this
the bonus.
way.
That's the bonus. Okay.
All right.
So now you know we've got that strawberry salad, and now with the kiwi and everything, and now we got a
Now
meatloaf.
that's something
a
meaty.
Meatloaf.
All
Okay.
right.
Now we're going to go to another one that's going to be really one of our newer ones, and that is we're going to be doing oven roasted Brussels sprouts, and it calls for 1 16-ounce bag of Brussels sprouts, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of sea salt.
Okay. Welcome back.
Now this is another one of my favorite ones, Curtis. And I mean, when I say my favorite ones, I know that most of the time when I ask
said that
people
before.
questions like, you know, do you like Brussels sprouts? And they say, not
And
really.
when they say,
not
that
really.
means no.
Have you had them before? No, I haven't. Okay, so then that's why we're actually going to do the Brussels sprouts, okay? Because we like to kind of look at some of those foods. Now remember now, these are all plant-based foods, and you know you can't just stay with the same thing over and over again.
Yes.
You got to mix it up a little bit.
Okay.
And mixing it up a little bit. So you know, and I want to say to you also that I was never. I mean, before back in the day, I was not a Brussels sprout girl, but Brussels sprouts, you know, I've learned to love them. Believe it or not.
Yes.
And we're going to fix them away today, but it's just going to really blow your mind, okay? Because most time I think also when you do Brussels sprouts, they kind of like steam them a little bit, put some water on them.
A little salt, and that's it.
No.
I mean, this is not my favorite, but
I actually brought them, and believe it or not, they were not your favorite until I actually had you sample them a couple weeks ago, and you were like, wait a minute.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
The way the food is prepared makes a big difference.
So Brussels sprouts come like this, Curtis. They come with a little head on them.
Okay.
And they look like little miniature cabbages, okay?
Okay.
And you can also purchase them. Like these are organic Brussels sprouts. They already come in a bag, 16-ounce bag.
Okay.
And so they're already pre-washed and ready to go. Okay.
Oh, okay. So a lot easy.
They're a lot easier.
Yeah, okay.
But if you know, when Brussels sprouts actually grow on a large stalk, all right, a big long stalk, and they kind of sit on the sides of the stalk. So they break them loose from there, all right? And so they have like a little stalk end on them. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to go in and you're going to cut that piece off.
Oh, okay.
And if you can see, you see it's nothing but like a center in there. Okay, sometime when some of your cooking recipes, they'll tell you to get rid of that, but you can't because that gets rid of the whole thing.
Yes.
So all we do is we're just actually going to cut down in the center of it.
Cut it
like
in
so,
half.
right, cut it in half. I'm going to put it in our bowl, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut in, and we're going to cut right down the middle. Now, if you have pieces that are kind of dark or something's going on with them, then of course, you know, you're going to get rid of that. But I like to keep all the leaves because that's a part of the coloring of how this actually comes out, okay?
Okay.
So we got the Brussels sprouts up in there.
Okay.
And the thing
very powerful foods are the Brussels sprouts and also
yes.
What's the other one you have? The cauliflower.
Cauliflower, Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
They're all a part
Cabbage,
of that.
yeah.
The cabbage family,
Yes.
the cruciferous. You know, and I always think it's kind of neat because the word cruciferous, you know, stands for the cabbage group, and the cabbage family is a family that actually helps to deter, control, or get rid of cancer cells.
Yeah.
And
Powerful compounds.
powerful compounds, very high in vitamin C, vitamin K, lots of potassium. All those are part of the actual family itself of that group, and the cruciferous. And I like the fact of this. How about when these flowers, the cruciferous group grows, they grow with a flower in the middle, and that flower is actually white. And then the very center of the flower is little red dots, 4 red dots, okay, for the word cruciferous.
Yeah, cross. Yes,
cross, all right.
A lot of good research on that. As of late, the cancer, chemo preventative. Also, another thing is also anti-inflammatory.
Anti-inflammatory.
For even stomach viruses and not stomach, ulcers, peptic ulcers. But also epigenetics. That's the latest, epigenetics, where it's actually changes the way genes are expressed, all right? Epigenetics, that's the latest research on the brassicas or cruciferous. And so that group has powerful compounds with that. And a lot of people times, you know, they say about epigenetics, epi, above, on top of the genes. So it changes the environment, the way genes are expressed. So it doesn't really change the DNA. I can eat these all day long. It's not going to change the color of my eyes from a brown to a blue. That's DNA, but it does change the way genes express themselves. That's epigenetics. And this whole family also is impact on that as well. So these are very powerful foods, and a lot of people don't like them, so this is a way of getting that food into your system and also get those benefits at the same time.
I do want to say too, Curtis, that they also have a sulfur-containing compound in them. That sulfur-containing compound, I don't know if you've ever left something like your collard greens or kale greens or mustard greens on the stove for a long period of time, or let's say you made the mistake and forgot to put them away the night before, they might come away with this kind of terrible odor that comes from them. But that's a sulfur-containing compound. And believe it or not, individuals who might not be able to take penicillin, they can do sulfur instead. So the sulfur-containing compound, God put it in the food we eat. You know, is it Council on Diets and Foods? The statement is made in the fruits and vegetable, grain and cereal kingdom are found.
All the food elements that we need.
All the food elements that we need, all right?
So right here.
And so the Brussels sprouts, rather than doing a lot of water, what we're doing is we're actually going to do something neat. We're going to put in some of our garlic powder over top of them. And we're going to put a little bit of the salt over top of them. And then we're going to take olive oil. Now, what doesn't taste good with olive oil?
I mean put olive oil with anything.
Yes. Okay, so you know we got the olive oil going on.
So you're just going to coat it?
We're going to coat it with the olive oil. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our greens, boom, because you know we got the green going on right now here. Yeah, I'm going to take the green and we're going to just, all you're going to do is move it around because you want to coat the actual Brussels sprouts themselves, okay? With the olive oil. And they go in the oven at 400 degrees, and they're actually going to go in the oven. And we're going to show you how we do them at home, okay? I'm going to move this pan over here.
You've got the green cutting board.
And we got the green cutting board. I'm going to move all these out the way. And you're going to go.
Spatula.
So what you're going to do is I always bake them face down. Face down. Okay, so you can go ahead and start doing them face down on a sheet.
You want me to just go in and...
No, here, let me give you something.
Yeah, I mean...
You want to go on in there and get them out?
Some utensils
going on
here.
Up in there.
Okay,
there you go.
all right.
Okay, you got one. There you go. And I'm telling you...
And you want the leaves and everything,
I want everything.
Right?
I want everything there.
Everything.
Leaves are a part of that coloring too. Okay, and we're just going to sit them down. I, like I said before, was not a lover of the Brussels sprouts, but when we started on these this way, and so I saw this recipe somewhere, and they had a different kind of version. You know, everybody's got a different version out there, but the bottom line is that on these, we just actually, but you want to make them face down because they'll brown on a bottom side first. Okay, so we're just laying them on a cookie sheet, No rhyme or reason, just put them on there. Okay.
I like to have some kind of
And
sequence.
if you're doing them on a cookie sheet, you want to make them, space them apart from each other.
Yes.
All right. And then you're going to be checking them. All right. It takes about 30 minutes altogether. If you think
On
your
each
oven
side,
is not,
or-
no,
oh,
30 minutes altogether. So within
altogether.
about 15
Oh, okay.
minutes, you want to go and turn them. And depending on them themselves, you know, you might want to turn it down a little bit. Just depends. Once you see them getting brown, now the olive oil is what makes them get brown on the other side. Okay, that's what does it.
Right. Okay.
So this is a really good, like I said, a very good dish to make. It tastes delicious.
Delicious.
Delicious, not delicious, but delicious.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, you
And
got
I've
them
got
on
all the
there.
leaves in there.
Got the
and
leaves in there too.
I'm trying to.
Now, when you say
little
leaves, it's
tighter.
actually the skin.
Oh, it's the
actually
skin,
It's
yeah.
not the leaves of it.
You got the leaves.
Because they might
Okay,
be
yeah.
thinking they're gonna get something there. Okay.
Okay.
So this goes in the oven. It goes in at 400 degrees. And like I said before, within about 10, 15 minutes, you want to go and you can turn them over if they've already started turning brown. Sometime also, if your oven's not calibrated, you might want to start off at 375. If you start at 375 and then turn them over, as you see them begin to turn like a golden brown on the bottom part, and then you flip them over, all right? And then they are not another wonderful dish to add to what you're eating. It's going to go
Yeah.
very, very well with our meatloaf that
Yes.
we actually are serving up
And the
in
salad,
restaurant.
the
And the
chick-
salad we got.
yes,
You
all
know.
right. Get
So
that,
that's our Brussels
all
sprouts.
right.
We're going to we check on them. We're going to put them on in the oven, and then you're going to see them at the very end of the show. So along with that, we're going to go to our very next recipe.
Okay, let's do it.
Our next recipe. How about stir-fried cauliflower? It calls for 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 cup of green peppers chopped, 1 cup of onions chopped, 3 garlic cloves chopped, 1 cup of mushrooms chopped, 1 head of cauliflower flowerets, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke, 3 tablespoons of light soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, and 1 teaspoon of sea salt, which is optional. Okay, we got another one of those foods that people have a problem with, and that is that cauliflower.
You did the Brussels sprouts, now the
We
cauliflower.
got the cauliflower going. Now, you know, but a lot of people have done cauliflower and turned it into mashed potatoes.
Yeah, that's.
You know, so we're going to do cauliflower in a stir fry.
I knew you were
all
gonna do something different.
Okay, so you know the cauliflower comes in a great big huge flowerette, a big bulb, and this is kind of
Okay.
like it's a lot of these together. And so actually, what I'm doing is I just take that centerpiece out.
Okay.
And I'm going to take this loose here because it's always going to go into the actual processor.
Oh, the
all right?
cauliflower,
The
okay.
flour. You want to cut them down into little flowerets. You see our little flowerets. I'm going to cut them down like that. And they're going to go in there. And on this one, you're going to have to be very careful to make sure that you use the pulse on it, okay? We're going
Oh.
to turn it into a rice, all right? So let's put that top on it. Okay, and here we go. A little bit more.
Okay.
Okay.
Now this is going to be new for a lot of people.
All right, what you're going to do, I'm going to have
Everybody
you,
used to put the
I'm going to have you
mashed
take that
potatoes.
out, take
So,
your blade out first.
take
I'm
the
going to go
blade
ahead and
out.
start getting this heated up.
Okay.
That is going to be new. It's going to be new.
And I'm going to put this in here, honey.
Yeah, go ahead and put it in there.
Okay.
And I'm getting ready to heat my skillet up and add my olive oil.
All right.
All right. And I had a lot of friends that went on this low-carb diet, and they were talking about they use the cauliflower. The first time I heard them say they were using cauliflower as the in the place of potato.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, all right, okay. And then I began to work with the cauliflower.
You need this food processor again?
I don't need no more, but I see some more goodies in here, but we're going to just let it go.
Yeah, we'll let it go.
Okay. All right. So we're going to heat our skillet up. Once again, we're heating it up with the olive oil, and we're going to start in by putting in our onions. Okay. Let's move this knife out the way.
So a lot of people do the mashed potatoes from the cauliflower.
Or they might just steam it.
Or steam it,
cauliflower,
yeah, that's about it.
Which I don't get excited about it being steamed.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know who gets excited about it being steamed, but I'm not excited about it being steamed. We're going to go ahead and put in our onions, our bell peppers as well.
Okay.
One thing about food, once again, it's got to have that pretty color. It's got to have that pretty texture that's going on for people to really like it. And believe it or not, even though the cauliflower itself can have a strong odor to it, the way we're going to make it up, it does not, because it's going to be camouflaged by the soy, the
Oh.
sesame oil, and also by the liquid smoke. All right?
Okay.
Now, the mushrooms I'm using is the portobello mushroom.
Oh,
because
okay.
also it has a coloring to it. It's a little bit darker than your other regular mushrooms. And I want to have that in there to save the place of, let's say, putting meat. Because sometimes, you know, when you have a stir fry, people actually put meat in there. But this is going to be no meat. It's just going to be the actual portobello. The baby portobello is what we're using to do an assimilation of actually meat. You hear it actually now stirring up. It's going to do its thing. I'm going to go ahead on also and add to that my garlic. Yeah.
Okay. So
And
you
all
must
this-
have a food processor. I mean, that's just a basic food kitchen item.
Yeah, I always say there's certain things
I
you
mean,
need
certain
to have.
things you just cannot do without.
Well, if you're going to be cooking, you need to have those kind of things. Oh, you
Yes.
know, you can buy it already chopped up. You're going to pay more
Yes.
money for it. But, you know, now.
It's just worth it to go ahead and give it
Yeah.
yourself. So
Now, you don't want it to cook real long. All I'm doing is just letting the onions get a
Okay.
little bit more transparent, translucent, soft and
okay.
tender.
Okay.
Because remember, the rest of it's going to cook with that cauliflower.
Oh, I see.
And the cauliflower does not just cook up right away. So you're going to have a little bit of time with that in there, okay? So we're going to
Okay.
go ahead on and put in the cauliflower. If you will go ahead on and put that in
okay.
for me.
All right.
All right. We're doing the assimilation of
Now, this is the first time
of a
people
white
seeing
rice.
cauliflower in this this texture.
In this texture, we're making a stir fry. And you can see already, it looks like
Yes.
regular rice.
Mixing with the peppers and the mushrooms yes.
Okay, so I'm going to have you go ahead on and start up. Let's go ahead and put the onion powder, garlic powder, onion powder, either one,
Okay.
that's it. Sprinkle that on. And then you're going to sprinkle on the onion powder. And then you're going to go ahead and just do that liquid smoke.
Liquid smoke.
All right. That's what gives that hickory kind of a smell to it.
And what
Then
else?
do that soy sauce.
This
That's
sauce.
it.
Yeah.
I'll put the soy sauce on. That's what gives that brown color, because you know we're trying to camouflage that cauliflower. We're gonna put that sesame oil on there also.
Now this gives it a distinct
Oh yeah.
flavor,
oh, yeah.
doesn't
oh,
it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It does it. It does it. And I'm gonna save the
salt.
to last. I'm gonna stir it up. And look at that, really, it's got a nice presentation. It's very, very pretty, it's attractive. And really and truly, if you didn't tell anybody it was cauliflower, they would eat it up. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the lid on it, and once it gets done, we'll go ahead and use the salt on it as well.
At the end
At the end,
okay.
we'll put the salt on as much as we need it, because I already got the soy sauce on it as well. So we're gonna put the lid on.
Wow, that was quick.
Quick
Simple.
and fast, takes
And it
about
looks
20,
different.
30
You
minutes.
would not know that cauliflower is in that dish.
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower.
Okay, cauliflower.
It's in the dish.
All right, let's look at our next one, our
Okay.
last one, which is actually mixed berry cobbler. It calls for a 16-ounce package of mixed berries, frozen, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, fresh, 3 tablespoons of Florida crystals, a half a cup of cornstarch, cooking spray, and a 1/9-inch pie shell. Well, you know, Curtis, this is one of my favorite ones, but you know, when I was talking about how much goes in it, you know, I said 1, but you got to have 2 bags.
Oh, 2 bags.
16-ounce bags of the mixed
Not
berries.
one, but 2 bags.
Two
bags.
Two.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't do 4 hands, but just 2.
Okay.
Okay, now, all right, we got these frozen strawberries, and what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead on and I'm going to put different things in. This is cornstarch, which is going to actually help to give it a thickening agent it needs to have in order for it to go. You're going to go ahead and get that lemon juice ready for me. Okay. I'm going to also put into this one our Florida crystals, which also goes in as well.
All right.
Okay. And we're going to put in, I'm going to save these Florida crystals here for my dough at the end. And you're going to make that up, and then you're going to go ahead and pour it in here. I'm just going to stir them around. You know, there's a couple ways I've done this one, and I can actually cook it on the stove and make it thick, or you can actually just allow it to do its own thickening as it's baking in the oven. So once you put that lemon in there for me.
Put it in here?
In here.
Oh,
in here.
okay.
Go ahead and
All
pour
right.
it in. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. And we're going to just take this spray, and we're going to spray our dish.
Oh.
And it's a cobbler because it only has a top on it, does not have a bottom. Okay?
Oh, so cobbler means it doesn't have.
The cobbler has a thick crust on top of it.
Oh, but
okay,
not
it's
on
not
the
a
bottom.
it's not a pie. It's actually a cobbler.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and pour that in. It's very, very attractive.
And very
Get
easy
my
too.
spoon.
Want me to hold it for you, honey?
Yeah, let me get all the goodies,
I
all the juice. You got it? Okay. Okay. All right. And as it takes two
Now
of these.
okay,
in order
so
for you
two
to
of these
Two of these
bags.
in order to get enough to go into your 9-inch pie shell.
Okay.
All right. And once again, it's going to cook as it goes around. It'll cook itself. It'll cook to the point where it actually will make a thick sauce.
Okay, now any
All right.
type of berries, I mean, you have a mixed berries, but...
This is a mixed berry. You
Can
can
you
do
have,
a
like,
blueberry, a
strawberry,
blackberry.
blueberry?
We've done them on other shows. We actually have them in our recipe book for other
Okay.
ones that you can actually make as well. And I've already got my pie crust, and you can use a pie shell. In our book, we actually have our own pie shells that we make, whole wheat pie shells, and this is an unbleached shell that we've actually made as well. We've had them with oats and stuff that we've made as well.
right.
So there's all different kinds that you can actually make up. And let's see if we're going to get this one here to cooperate with us, and I think it will. I'm not 100% sure. We're going to pull that off from there, and we're going to lay it across there. All right, we want those edges to come on out on both sides. All right, and we're going to move that in, and we're just going to kind of...
Is that called crimp it?
No,
What's
I'm
the word?
not doing that. I'm just actually just covering the actual berries themselves as it cooks in the oven, okay?
Oh, okay.
Just covering the berries themselves. And over here, I got a little bit of a thick end, so we're going to move that over here on this side so we can have a top
Robin,
there.
Peter, Pay, Paul?
Yeah, something like that. Okay. And then I'll just take a fork, okay? Take a fork.
And scored or...
Take a fork, and we're just going to take the fork, and all we're going to do is just go around the edges of it, okay?
I thought you were going to use the fork and punch holes in it.
No, that's
Why-
when you're doing
why
pie
not?
crust. When you're doing pie crust, to keep the crust from actually swelling up while you're making your recipe, the recipe itself, that's when you have to punch holes in the crust if it's on the bottom.
Oh, okay. But you don't do it on top.
No, no. On the top of this, what I will do is make little lines in it, which I'll show you in a hot second.
okay.
Okay? So you're just going to, the main thing here, and believe it or not, when this goes around and starts cooking, it's actually going to lift up this, and it becomes a actual crust on top of it, which I really like, okay?
Yes, okay.
So we're crimping it around the edges. Kurt used the word crimp.
Crimp.
Okay? But the bottom line is that, and then we're going to take our little knife, and we're just going to then create, okay, in there. So we're going to go away at
Well,
this
I'll tell you
point.
what, I know a lot of people are interested in these recipes and also how to get a hold to us. So we have a roll, and so after that, we'll come back and see the finished product. So here's the information that you need at this time.
If you would like to contact the Eakins to find out more about their ministry, or if you'd like to invite Curtis and Paula to present their seminars in your area, then you can contact them at Abundant Living, Post Office Box 2873, Huntsville, Alabama 35804. That's Abundant Living, Post Office Box 2873, Huntsville, Alabama 35804. You can call 256-859-1982. That's 256-859-1982. You may also order their products or get their recipes online at abundantlivingtv.org. That's abundantlivingtv.org.
All righty. We have finished the
Teamwork.
program. We have finished
Teamwork.
it. Yep, teamwork.
All right.
Got some unusual foods, but got some good foods for them to try out. Okay, kind of quick and
Food
easy.
that people may not like, but now they can like it in this format
in this format.
and look appetizing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Let's start off with what we started
Okay,
off with.
what we
and that
have?
was we had that spinach and strawberries with kiwi and mock chicken.
Oh,
and it's
that
got
looks-
a raspberry dressing that goes over
Looks
top
good,
of it.
baby, looks
Is
good.
that pretty or what? And then we went with that meatloaf, and rather than have it in a pan,
Oh,
we
look at
actually
that, honey.
hand-shaped that meatloaf
Yes.
itself, all right?
Got a little decorated on the sides there.
Decoration.
Okay, all right.
And then we did the grilled, oven roasted Brussels sprouts with the olive oil.
Yes,
yeah.
You
They're
never
good,
had
they're good.
Brussels sprouts this way, folks.
This is the way to go over there. Yep. And then we did a cauliflower, stir-fry cauliflower that looks like regular stir-fry, all right? But we're using the cauliflower in a place
You
of
put
rice.
that on somebody's plate, they wouldn't know it was cauliflower.
They would not. And then what show does not end with a dessert?
You have to have a
a
dessert.
Okay, so we got that berry cobbler going on, and it's got a topping on top of it, a crust on top of it. It is absolutely delicious as well.
Absolutely. Now, so let's taste some of this now.
I knew you were going to try to do that, but I didn't even bring anything this time, so I'll just
okay,
look
now,
in here, my
so
spoon and
you're
stuff.
slipping, baby.
As a matter of fact, I think that if we're going to do anything, because everybody talks about the cauliflower must be terrible.
Cauliflower.
So
But the clock is ticking, baby.
Hey, cauliflower.
Cauliflower, all right,
Oh, it's
yes.
cauliflower. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, see now, remember in our reception, you fed me, remember? Yeah.
Oh.
That was 22 years ago, so you may have forgotten, but yeah. Okay, there you go, baby. Big spoon. Okay. Okay, you're really playing with me now. Okay, let's close. John 10:10, Jesus said, I come, that they might have life and have it more abundantly.